Hola, pinches mugrosos, y bienvenidos de vuelta to the podcast, y'all. Y'all, it has been a stressful week with a lot of baby daddy drama, a lot of freaking me that, who that, a lot of freaking who, like, mm, 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 mm. Pero either way, mugrosas, in today's podcast, we're just going to be talking a little bit of da, 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 dun, our love life. Yes, I know. I'm gonna mostly talk about this not because I just have many weird encounters, y'all. Because I want to know, like, literally, I want anybody to tell me whoever had a similar encounter to tell me if they had a similar encounter. Because I have to know if y'all had a similar encounter. But, like, literally, dude, I've had so many encounters. So I am GAY, you know? So you know, like nails down, nails done, freaking let them blow dry, that type. And so, I'm a queen. Nailed it. And so basically, let's start off relationship wise because anybody who knows who's a closeted teen, because like I don't know, but like during middle school, y'all, my love life was not the easiest. Sorry if I hear a lot of background noise. I can't do shit about that, okay? Like, okay, so during middle school, right, I was still very closeted, but very convinced my ass was straight as hell. Like, I'm talking about straight as a ruler, like that. No, I'm literally más chueco que mis pinches nalgas, dude. So basically, but surprisingly, I think at that time I was more bi curious. Because I still had crushes on girls. I still liked women like that, but at the same time, I wouldn't look at them like that. Like I didn't see them like that. I just saw them and I thought they were really pretty. I want to hang out with them. I want to be girlfriend. But like I didn't think of them like that. Like I didn't, which you should never really think about them like that. You should never, obviously, never sexualize men or women. But I didn't have those types of feelings, which some people would be like, "Period, you have great feelings for somebody," but no, it was actually kind of the opposite. Turns out I really don't like freaking roast beef, honey boo boo. I just like freaking smoked sausage. So I was like, I was like, fine. I think whatever. So during middle school, I literally only had one girlfriend. Actually, no, I technically had two girlfriends. And I had one crush who didn't work out. Because tell me how I literally told my best friend at the time, which probably should have been a red flag immediately. I told her I had a crush on somebody, and she knew this somebody very clearly, and she wanted to go tell him anyways. And then my best friend was like, my best friend, because the person I had a crush on was my best friend, y'all. And because she was very pretty, very smart, very tall, and I'm a very tall person too. So I was like, she's tall, I'm tall. I was taller than her though, but she was very pretty. And then one day she texted me and she was like, do you have a crush on me? I was like, no. And she's like, don't lie to me. I was like, I'm not. And she was like, well, Lydia told me. And I'm like, Lydia, by the way, her name's not actually Lydia. I'm just using Lydia as a reference because obviously I'm not giving up personal information. But they're like, Lydia told me. I was like, Lydia. And we're gonna call her Joanne, by the way, the other way. It's because Lydia was the nickname of my friend, so I don't really care if you know, but of my ex red flag friend, by the way, her name was Lydia. Not actually Lydia, but either way. And then Joanne, right? We're gonna choose an old last name. And then Joanne, who's the one I had a crush on. And so she was like, do you have a crush on me? I was like, no. I was like, don't lie to me. Lydia told me. And like, what do you mean Lydia told you? I was like, no, I don't have a crush on you. And it's like, don't lie to me. I was like, Lydia told me. And I was like, okay, fine, I do. Like, why do you care so much? I was like, why do you care so much? Not like you like me back, anyways. Which I honestly had that feeling. I was like, probably she would never like me back. And I was right, because she's like, yeah, I know. But like, I was like, ¿de por qué chingas me preguntas? If you already fucking know. Like, chingas, me estás preguntando acá como like I'm a freaking, if you're gonna freaking respond differently. Like, damn, chingo, déjame en paz. And from there, our relationship as friendships really broke off though, because she stopped talking to me, stopped texting to me, like stopped a lot of stuff. Um, and literally the last time I texted her was maybe a few years ago, but that was a different story. Because I saw her in high school, and we're gonna get down that a little bit in a minute after we finish middle school. But pretty much that's how that ended, right? Then I moved, and that was during sixth grade, sixth to seventh grade. And then seventh to eighth grade, I had actually gotten a girlfriend, right? But we never kissed or anything. Shit, it was giving rainbow flag all over the fucking place, dude. I'm not sure how I wasn't spitting up rainbows at that point, but I was, right? And then I had the freaking friend who was the straight as hell, and he didn't realize I was, you know, giving rainbow. And I don't even know how. I think motherfucker was blind or some shit, because I'm like, dude, and I know, and you know how girls would wear their jackets where they would have them to their shoulders, at their shoulders, their elbows, how they have it hanging like that. That was me. That was my gay ass freaking like a night. So I have no idea how this man could not tell. I literally had like, I was freaking giving freaking gold star lesbian or some shit. By the way, I'm a guy if nobody knew by my name, which is Eric. Dumbasses. And so, like, whatever. And so at the time, I had two girlfriends. One, she asked me if I wanted to be her girlfriend, right? And then what we both jokingly like said it. Like we said, like, you want to be my girlfriend? And she's like, you want to be my boyfriend? And I was like, shit, yeah. And then, like, I didn't take it seriously until the next time. She's like, so are we boyfriend and girlfriend? And I was like, yeah, sure. And that's how that happened. But we never kissed. We never hold hands or shit. So it's like, shit, it's fucking pinche relación más pinche seca, dude, than a fucking asshole. And I was like, okay, like, whatever. So moving on to when we had broken up, which wasn't really a broken up situation. It's just that we didn't click. And I was like, it's like, I don't know. We eventually became to a mutually understanding that we knew my freaking rainbow ass was not into her. And so here comes along this other girl, and she declared I was her boyfriend, and I didn't want to be, right? But she was like, "Oh, you're my boyfriend now," and I was like, "Okay." I didn't really accept it. I was like, "Oh, like okay, stop playing around with my ass." And she's like, "No, for real." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Get your freaking booty off ask me." And she's like, "Why? You're my boyfriend now." I was like, "Fuck you and your boyfriend," which isn't me. And so basically, that's how that happened. And so it was a lot of craziness, but during that time though, I definitely had crushes on guys, y'all, because cuando me un chico que estaba riquísimo, I was falling head over heels, y'all. Like, shit. I mean, And I mean, there were actually some decent people, but obviously that was like during middle school, like shit. Nothing works out in middle school. And I'm not saying I had the looks or anything, because Lord knows I don't have the looks for that. But I was like, okay, well, I can try to have the looks. And so I tried even more. My fat ass is still fat, but I've already lost some weight. So that's something good, I guess. And so, hold on, what was continuing? Okay, sorry, I got a little lost. So we're gonna progress a little into ninth grade, basically, because we had originally graduated from middle school to ninth grade. And this is where I tell you guys, I ran into fucking Joanne. And I was like, Joanne, I was like, hey babes, how are you? And then she gave me the weirdest looking ass, freaking stingy ass look ever, y'all. And I'm like, it's like, okay, rude. Well, turns out the bitch didn't like me because I was freaking not rainbow, because I don't know how the hell so many people missed it, dude. That's my question. They missed it because they were like, oh, I didn't know. And I'm like, I was like, stop fucking lying. They're like, no, I didn't really know. It's like, how the hell you not know I was a fucking rainbow? Like, dude, I was freaking spitting. What's that one freaking catchphrase from freaking Skittles? Oh yeah, I taste the rainbow. You was tasting the rainbow in your freaking asshole. That's how far up I was in it. Like, dude, how could you not? Like, how could you not realize? So I found it completely strange, but I was like, you know what? Moving on, moving on. Like, no, I don't know, no say, whatever. And so I texted her, and she's like, hey, I hope it's not weird between us, and who knows what. And I was like, I know back then, who knows what. It was like things are different obviously now. So I was like, I hope we could still be friends, and blah blah blah. And she's like, yeah, who knows what. And she's like, and then she had the audacity to be like, but you don't like me, do you? I was like, at that time, I have kind of discovered myself, and they was like, "Oh no, honey, I'm gay." I was like, "I don't like you," and she's like, "Oh." She's like, "Okay." I was like, "Yeah, bitch, I fucking work for the rainbow." And so that's when she was like, again, background noise. I don't give a shit. And that's when she was like, I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, good for you, good for you. I'm like, yeah, it is good for me. But I found it so funny, honestly, y'all, because the way her text said it, I don't remember. I don't have to say it no more. But the way it was written, and then, dude, the fact that I keep seeing her, I keep seeing her as like, not right now, because it's been 2 years, but like during that time, I would always fucking see her, and I always hated it. But you know what I did? I just ignored her like I didn't know her because she was in the past, and I wasn't living for the past no more. I wasn't living for the past no more. I live for the Lord. Now I live for the Lord. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I don't live for no peasant of the past. But anyways, that's what pretty much happened. So it was definitely chaotic. But either way, that was my sorry, my phone was falling. That was my middle school, high schoolish experience. And I'm gonna move on a little more into depth of what happened con los hombres, obviously. But that will be for next episode. Digimon Rosas, okay? I hope to see you later. Báñense, lábranse los pinches culos negros que traen. Y ahí los vemos para la próxima. Adiós. Chao.